Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to take much of your time, but we gotta talk for a second about something that the CEO of Ripple just said. And I mean, it's not like groundbreaking because we all knew this in the back of our heads already. And I mean, come on, it's XRP. So whatever the announcement is, don't expect the price to move. But regardless, I still get excited for these things. Maybe I'm just a sucker for pain. I'm not, I know I'm not, but I'm just saying maybe in just a way I never imagined. Because whenever these announcements come out, ladies and gentlemen, I still feel some type of way. I'm gonna admit it. Whenever I look at it, I still feel like, woo, something juicy is up, something good is gonna happen. Now it's fine. And most of the time, it's a very big letdown. You ready? Here we go. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, says he expects spot XRP ETFs in 2025. I'm not going to call this video massive news or let's go, because honestly, it could be a little nothing burger because he's a CEO of the company and he can expect things doesn't mean it has to go his way, because obviously we've seen that before. The SEC doesn't play by the same rules. And I've even seen jokes of people saying now, oh, if that happens, XRP could probably finally, if we're really lucky, go to like, what, 60 cents? Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with Sean and get back to what I said yesterday, which is along the lines of, if we're talking about how far into a crypto run we are, though, we're not really far in. And with the price moves of a lot of the tokens today, it reminded me again that we are early into a bull market because BNB is pumping 12%. Wow. TON is up 10%. Wow. People are like, whoa, that is nice. When in a real bull market, people are like, what? Only 10%? I'm looking at some other coins actually in my portfolio. I forgot about completely. This is doing well. And if again, we keep in the back of our head that over the next few years, Bitcoin will probably get to half, if not the same as gold, if not double, triple gold's market cap. I think because of the way that Bitcoin is designed, true scarcity in that sense, it'll get many, many times fold of what gold had. And altcoins, even though I don't think altcoins will overtake Bitcoin soon, at some point they probably will in terms of gains on average, because once more, right now it's a matter of if you buy a basket of altcoins, most will not do better than Bitcoin. At some point that switches over though. And that's kind of what we're looking for here with all our strategies and with all the analytics that I keep talking about. For the most part, it's just a matter of where is that spot where Bitcoin is not better than altcoins anymore. And as of this point, Bitcoin is still quite best. And if we look at the past, right? So for example, we take a look at, because you have to take a look, blue is halving 1, yellow is halving 2, orange is halving 3, and now pink is halving 4. So it's basically from this blue one being the first time, so back in 20 whatever, I think 2012, then 2016, then 2020, and now 2024. You can see that right around the halving here, things are usually slightly upwards, except for this initial time, the first time. But then mostly, right, as the halving occurs, in the next few weeks, the next 3 months or so, right, and here in this case here, the next 9 or so months, and then I guess if you extrapolate this towards the end, the all-time high on both these cases, about a year into the halving, in this case here about 90 days, and then also a year into the halving, things went on a crazy ruckus. The only time it didn't do well for about more than a year, I guess, into the halving, because here it was a year, here it was a year and a half, is the last time. Because we had ourselves those crazy heights, then a very big dip, and then a new all-time high once more, similarly to the cycle before. But that run was so strange that it's kind of hard to put a pin on that. And what's also funny is that this time around was the only time in the cycle where we actually reached an all-time high before the halving came. And so you might be asking yourself, since we broke all-time highs before, we broke all-time highs quickly after, is this because of all these institutional players joining the game? And how is that going to affect the previous runs that we had? Because this time, following the logarithmic scale here, we are already starting significantly higher. So where is that going to bring us relatively to previous cycles? I really do wonder about that. And then you can extrapolate back to all your favorite cryptos, XRP, XLM, XDC, blah, 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 blah. Even though many of them are not in a hyped up spot. And I have discussions about this all the time. Any ISO 20022 coin, XDC, XLM, XRP, QNT, HBAR, you can love them because they all have their good partnership in their own respect. But let's be real, if they're not in a hyped up state, if nobody really is talking about them for the right reasons, yes, they may be getting partnerships, they may be doing everything right, but the world is not fair. Let's be real. You can have, oh, alarm. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. I think one of my experiments just escaped from the lab. Get back into your cage! Anyway, let's be real, like I said, it's not really fair the way the world works for the most part. It's not often that, oh, no, because it's really best, that's why it performs the best. Is Ethereum really that good? It has a lot of things on there, but in almost every aspect, it is worse than other technologies out there. And you can kind of keep rolling that ball. With all these coins, many of them deserve greater heights, but the question is, will their time come? I think with many of our coins that we know and love, it will, but a little bit further into the cycle when actual altcoins, let me quickly see where I had it, altcoins just start to pop off, which is usually after Bitcoin has gone for this crazy spurt. Bitcoin usually goes for this crazy run up, then it starts to fall, and that's when altcoins start to really flourish the most. And that's also why there's quite a small time span where altcoins just go really, really crazy. It usually is a smaller part of the cycle. The bigger part is where Bitcoin is just best, and then all of a sudden altcoins take over. You have a few months of crazy times before it gets so crazy that everything starts to crash. Anyway, I can sit here talking about all of this for hours, but the strategy is as follows. Bitcoin at the start, and I'm going to repeat myself 1,000 times on this channel, but that's because I really want the best for y'all, and because I really think that I'm right. I don't personally see any other thing playing out here. The only other scenario I can think of is just full-on capitulation. Everything falls, we're all doomed for a while, and we regret many things. But even in that scenario, I think personally, if I just have the courage to buy the way down, it's again many millions of dollars that you make on the way up. It's just about having the balls to hold and potentially buy more on the way down. The way I have 𝗕𝗫𝗄𝗏 set up, it's also a matter of the lower it goes, the more it's going to buy, all the way down to bare bottom. And bare bottom in this case here is like 30,000. I've not had any fail saves for a price dump under 30,000. I don't really see any scenario ever of that happening. I personally don't see any scenario of going below 40, even 50, really, realistically speaking. But my fail saves are up to 30,000. If it does go down that low, you're going to find me in some bunker somewhere deep in Russia probably, where it's so cold that I cannot do anything except for just shiver while my positions are just in crazy losses. But hey, that's how I'm going to roll with it. For the most part, though, I think it's just going to be up and up and up with some slight dips, more buying opportunities. Just continuing on to the top. And if you agree, let me know by pressing that like button. And that's about it.